welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're going to be taking a look at the brand new comic run from IDW Comics, and this is Transformers King Grimlock. So I think this is going to be a short run, 5 issues I believe, and this is issue 1, so let's check a look. So taking a look at the cover art here, and I really like this cover art. I think it's really cool. Very nice looking. The art style in this is really nice all the way through, but there is one thing that I don't like about this, unfortunately, and I think it is going to bug me all the way through this series, is these. I don't like Grimlock's really thin shoulders. I think everything else looks absolutely fantastic in this comic, and they've really done the art style very well, but these thin shoulders just irritate me slightly. I don't know what it is. Really irritating. So, like I say, this is basically a 5-issue Grimlock spotlight, basically. Grimlock, and there's all kind of magic and all kind of stuff as we go through it. So let's open up this one, and we can open up, and the first thing we see here on the cover is these 3 different versions of Grimlock, or these 3 different kind of red pictures of Grimlock. Very nice pictures of Grimlock there. We have 2 in the alt mode, 1 in the alt mode, sorry, and 1 in the bot mode. We can see all the writers and the art and all of the different things as we go through. And then we have a little IDW. So the story starts off in Harmonix, the Singing City on Cybertron, and what we can see is that Prime is saying, "That's enough, Grimlock, they surrendered," and Grimlock is still smashing away at all the mechanibles. Mechanibles? Yeah, mechanibles, that's the one. All the mechanibles, and we can see them in pieces all over the place. As always, it starts with a power struggle between Prime and Grimlock. And basically, Prime is saying, you know, these mechanibles attacked us, but you know what? We should not be killing every mechanable that we see, because that was just a rogue faction. And as always, you know, good old Grimlock is just like, no, kill everything. Me, Grimlock, smash everything, kill everything. Prime is like, no, let's not do that. And he's saying, you know, there is strength in mercy. Grimlock, of course, doesn't want to show any mercy to any of these. And at that point then, this green light starts to emanate from the floor, and then it captures Grimlock, and we can see some of the other Dinobots here as well. As I really like this version of Prime. That's something I do like about IDW Comics, that every single time they release, there's little variations on all of the little characters when you get a new model, when you get a new comic run. It's just little variations, just little tweaks to the way that they draw them, and I really like the way they've drawn Prime here. But Grimlock, the Rebel, is taken then off to a mysterious planet with creatures that look like they're out of Care Bears or out of My Little Pony or something very weird, this lizard chicken thing. And of course the first thing Grimlock does is squish, squashes them and says, "Sorry, tiny lizard bird." So he kills the tiny lizard bird there, and Grimlock realizes that he's no longer in Kansas and he's not having any dinner. So he picks up the dead bird, just holds it in his hand basically, and Grimlock realizes he's lost. He's not on Cybertron anymore, but he hears a rumble, and then Grimlock smells fun. So Grimlock then smells fun, and he calls these things big horse cats. I mean, they do have a better name, but I like Grimlock's name, Big Horse Cat. So these big horse cats attack Grimlock, and then Grimlock basically goes toe to toe, hoof to hoof with these big cats, and he decides to transform. So we see the first time of his transformation, we see his alt mode here, which is a nice looking alt mode as well. They've done a great job here on the alt mode, and we see it attacking all of the cats. The cats then start to roar, but Grimlock says, That's no roar, and Grimlock lets out a roar of his own and just devastates all of the cats then. And he says, "That roar." So he roars, and then unfortunately they have this transformation, which is, yeah, I mean, it's not great. It's like a morph rather than a transformation. Very bizarre the way they've drawn that, but you get the noise, which is cool. And then Grimlock hears some voices from behind him, and then he sees some humans kind of behind him who say that their prayers have been answered because they're the ones that summoned Grimlock. But they were trying to summon Optimus Prime, or certainly summon some kind of human, some kind of Autobot to come and support them and help them because they're having problems with somebody called the Golden One. And this is where we find out that this is Menonia. So everyone who watches the G1 cartoon remember that they've been to Menonia before via the Quintesson's portal that was hidden somewhere on Cybertron. So this is actually somewhere that Autobots have visited before, and they need an Autobot savior to come and save them. They were trying to get Optimus, and obviously this really pisses Grimlock off because, he thinks that he is better than Prime, but they are quite happy the fact that Grimlock has arrived because Grimlock is pretty hefty, and they saw the way that he took everything out. But of course, Grimlock doesn't really want to help these people. He's hearing about the Golden One. They tell him about the Golden One being very powerful. Grimlock is intrigued because it says him powerful. So we see that he's powerful, and we see the Golden One here again, and this was from the G1 cartoon as well, that they had the Golden One who turns into a dragon, and the Golden One says that he can see all, and he's not surprised at all, or he's not bothered by Grimlock, because he knows that if Prime had come, the Prime that they wanted, Prime would have actually been able to rally them. However, Grimlock is a petty fool who insists on calling himself king. He won't save those people. So the Golden One really is not bothered about Grimlock, and sees actually Grimlock as probably more of an ally than actually somebody to fear. At this point, they're starting to explain, or certainly the leader's daughter is starting to explain what happens when the Golden One attacks, and we can see the dragon attacks and people having to shield their babies. And he say basically every Menonian village has lost somebody to the Golden One's rage. So Grimlock at this point tells them, save yourselves in the best way possible. They try to reason with him again, but unfortunately Grimlock is having none of it. Grimlock turns tail and just basically says, I'm going to do my own thing. They're not a good negotiator. They try to threaten Grimlock and say if they don't help him, Grimlock will never find his way home. And Grimlock does not seem to care and goes off to see what challenges await for him on Menonia. The daughter looks like she's going to go after him again and then try to change Grimlock's mind. And then we see Grimlock finally walking towards two beasts that are here towards the end of it, and he's trying to see now what dangers await him in Menonia and see if he can find his own way back and his own way to crush them. And then there's also this Autobot sword. So I think that one of these two dudes is actually carrying this Autobot sword, so definitely we'll learn more about that in the next issue. Other covers that I could have got is this one, which looks more of a kind of heavy metal type cover. If anybody ever read any of the heavy metal or watched any of the heavy metal stuff, this looks very much in that vein. I really like this cover as well. This was one that I was toying with getting, but this is the one I ultimately got because I think it is very, very, very cool. This is from the next issue, so we can see Grimlock in his alt mode with some wizards and warriors and dwarves and stuff around him, and they do a little character bio at the back. I love this kind of thing. So we can see Grimlock has strength 10, speed 3, endurance 10, courage 10, firepower 8, skill 9, and rank 9. But he doesn't seem to have intelligence. That would have been a good one to see. Experience points, alignment. So this is for all of you RPG nerds. I certainly was from the your paper-based RPG. This is what your paper-based Grimlock RPG would look like. I would never play D&D. I always played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. But this looked very much like a character sheet from that. So that's nice little touch. Really do like that. And then we get some little line drawings of Grimlock and Arco, which is the guy's daughter. We get an advert for Shattered Glass, which is coming in August. So this month, I'm going to be reviewing mine along with the figure. I'll probably do a separate review for the comic, but I'm waiting for my comic to come with my figure from Hasbro Pulse because I wanted the exclusive comic for that one. And then we have the Mirror War from Star Trek coming as well with Picard, and then Beermunda. I don't know what that is. And then at the back we get Transformers Grimlock. Absolutely fantastic. So all in all, actually, really enjoyed it. A great little read. Really looking forward to seeing where this one goes. It's nice that they're revisiting somewhere that we had in the G1 comic books. I'm here for it. Anything that's a spotlight on Grimlock, I think that's really, really cool. Let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments. Have you picked this one up? Do Grimlock's shoulders annoy you? Can you wait for the next episode? Alright, I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!